on winning the Big Ten and the Pac-12. Washington and Oregon State. Let's meet the lineups first for the Washington Huskies. They're still shaking up that front line. They've got so many good front line players. Good problem for Jamie Clark in his 16th season. So again, we'll see Ramsey coming off the bench. Cameron Cruz, a guy to watch. He's moving all over the field. Midfielder, creator, scorer. And that solid back line. Particularly Harrison Brightos. Beaver fans know all about him. And of course, he was the big hero in the College Cup as well for the University of Washington. The Beavers coached by Jared Brookins, year number 2 as head man after being an assistant. Oregon State also moving things around a little bit. They've had a whole week to rest up. Washington's coming off a game Thursday. Max Eisenberg, one to watch up front, along with Milo Ray. Again, a lot of offensive combinations for OSU. And they get Jacob Zapien back of the lineup. He had to sit out with the red card from Irvine. Did not play against Fullerton. The Beavers, again, 1 win and a draw. The Huskies, 2 victories and a loss. Let's take a look at our keys to victory tonight for both teams. Washington does such a great job of controlling the ball and keeping it in the other team's end. They're concerned with service. Don't get caught in transition. Oregon State's got the speed to make you pay on that. And Oregon State wants to get out of their own end. They've seen what Washington can do in the possession game. You can't score if you're not on the other side of the midfield line. And then the other question for the Beavers is, who is playing up front? And again, we're going to at least start off early on with Eisenberg, Ray, and Borso. And maybe the key guy is going to be Michael Nessie, the Indiana transfer, who is proven to be a great creative force already. So this will be a high-pace, up-and-down game, many threats to score, and will be very entertaining stuff. The Huskies, of course, looking to climb back up the ladder. They were number 1 in the preseason poll and dropped all the way to 11th. Washington was number 1 preseason, lost to San Diego at home and dropped all the way to 11th this past week. That's probably more of a drop than is necessary. And Oregon State, right about where they thought they'd be, in the 20 range. And this gauntlet the Beavers are facing early season. They got a huge Eastern road trip coming up next week with Georgetown and Virginia. Georgetown, maybe the best team in the country. And Virginia, an NCAA team a year ago. They're rebuilding, but they certainly have that postseason experience. So both these teams deliberately schedule tough to give themselves everything they need when they get into conference play, get that RPI number up, and a chance for postseason. And wouldn't it be ironic if they meet again in postseason play, just like that NCAA first round game here last November? The Beavers won the first meeting in August here at Lorenz Field, and then the Huskies rallied to win in overtime, and that was their first of 6 victories all the way from Seattle on their way to the College Cup Championship. Beavers in the black, white numbers. Huskies in the white and purple. And a good crowd here. A lot of Husky family made the trip. Of course, earlier today, same 2 teams matched up in women's competition. Washington scoring early and then hanging on for a 2-1 victory. And again, this rivalry between the schools goes back all the way to 1988-89. That's when Oregon State started their soccer programs. The Husky men, of course, had a program going back into the 70s, and a lot of tradition from the days of the North American Soccer League, and those players who retired became coaches, youth coaches, and of course have created the great soccer culture in Seattle. And Oregon State benefiting, of course, in the same way from the 2 great Portland Timber players that really started all the greatness of soccer coaching in the state of Oregon. Clive Charles, who took the University of Portland program to heights, and Jimmy Conway, the quiet man who started this Oregon State program, but was also instrumental in developing talent all around the state. And both these programs remain indebted to all these great athletes. Ball is underway. Beavers send it forward. And an early goal kick coming up. Both these goalkeepers, excellent in their abilities. Washington, Stockton Short, Utah kid all the way. transferred from Utah Tech. And of course, he has a Seattle connection. Tom Dutra, a Sounders goalkeeping coach, his son Tanner plays at Tech. So there was a lot of knowledge about him. And he has come out of the box this year. 265 minutes, allowed 4 goals, 7 saves. Ball comes forward, and it comes to the Beaver goalkeeper. This is John Nicholson, the Ironman's played every minute since the beginning of last year. 5 clean sheets. He had 9 saves in that game against the Huskies here last year in November, the NCAA game. Gave the Beavers every opportunity to steal that away. See the shadows coming across the field. We're getting that time of year where the sun stops setting after 8 o'clock in the northwest. So we'll be fully under the lights in the second half. Far sideline, Huskies control. That's Gavin Wolf. Another famous soccer name, his father, Josh Wolf, who spent 14 years in Major League Soccer. Was the manager of Austin at the beginning of that franchise. Now coming forward for Washington. Bertos. Ooh, and some early contact. Man goes down, we play on. Nessie looking for a whistle, didn't get it. Now Washington looking to build out of the back. So let's watch how Oregon State defends this Husky team that possesses so well. It's Alex Hall. Swing the ball to the right. Little entry. Now a second ball, but this rolls straight through to Nicholson. Under Jamie Clark, the Huskies been to the NCAAs 12 times, won the Pac-12 twice, 5 times to the NCAA quarterfinals or better. They finished second in 2021 with a team that you really thought was going to win it all. And then last year, the road was so hard. You thought, well, they're going to get tripped up, and then they didn't. And they got to that slugfest with North Carolina State in the College Cup final and prevailed. And it was Bertos, who we talked about, part of that back line, who was the hero with the game winner. A little slip on the grass for Zach Meyer, the defender, playing up. He's dispossessed. Now the Huskies will get back, so we knew there'd be a lot of body-to-body contact, and it's happening early. Throw in for Washington. Beavers have already faced some discipline this year against Zapian, got the red. And not really that deserved at Irvine, so he had to sit against Fullerton. And that turned out to be a pretty good road trip for Oregon State. They were a man down at halftime and rallied 3 times to get to 3-3. So huge emotional lift from that. And then you go into Fullerton, second game of the weekend, very hot day in Orange County. And the Beavers just dominated the Titans, 3-0. So both these teams happy with their offensive production so far. Oregon State, 6 goals in 2 matches. Washington, 9 goals in 3. Oregon State will retreat. You see Washington pressing forward. They've got dangerous people there pretty close to the 18. And OSU will be patient, looking for clearance. That was Zapian wearing the captain's armband. Now OSU gets some space. John Kuthler-Aris, the freshman from Bothell, Washington, starts things forward. He's drawn a lot of good attention, playing big minutes already. On the right side of the midfield, number 19. Ooh, and an early set piece for Oregon State. And this will be Nessie. Nessie has been at Oregon State actually since January after transferring from Indiana, but did not play because of an MCL. His ball comes straight through to Stockton short. But again, Nessie has made himself pretty indispensable in the early going. Now a long ball forward for Washington. They're trying to target Kevin Hernandez, but no help, and the Beavers cleared out to midfield before the throw-in. Kevin Hernandez getting the start tonight. He already has 1 assist on the year coming off the bench. And he's a player Jamie Clark said we'd see more of this evening, especially with, again, the back-to-back Thursday, Sunday. Oregon State hasn't played since last Sunday at Fullerton. And a pretty good knock at midfield. It looks like Lofi is down. Connor Lofi, fourth-year player from O'Day. Drafted in the MLS by Vancouver in the Super Draft. He was all-tournament team at the Big Ten tournament last year. Lofi, midfielder, but gets in the back a lot. And here he is. You see how far forward he goes now on the restart. So free kick for Washington from midfield. Here's Cruz. Cruz, nice service right side of the box. Battle in the air. Beavers win it. Huskies keep it. Still in play. And Meyer can't quite control it. It's over the line. So the Beavers get another restart, and again, with play dead, a little easier to generate your work out of the back. So a lot of patience early, and look at the Washington press. Chad Savdi all over the place. And Savdi coming right at Nicholson as he clears the ball. Beavers keeping in motion. Milo Ray. Portland kid. Been with the Timbers T2 team. Played USL 2 this summer. In fact, 3 Beavers all played for the Portland Bangers. Shorter season. Let's have a Catlett out of the back. So now Oregon State brings their defenders all forward. See Zapian holding in the middle, and it'll still be a OSU throw-in from the far side. And OSU will retreat to start to go forward. This is the only home game for Oregon State until September 23rd. In Big Eastern trip next week, they got to play at Portland on the 13th. That's going to be a big Sunday game. Tell you, the Huskies made a statement Thursday night, whacking Portland 4-2 in Seattle, and it wasn't that close. Portland ranked number 3 this week, San Diego 2, so here's the top of the West Coast Conference. San Diego may be better than people think. So the West Coast solid in the polls. You know, men's soccer has gotten kind of interesting the last few years with the emergence of what would be mid-majors in other sports. You know, Vermont, Akron. Good opportunity here. Hall keeps it on the ground. Alex Hall, a Big Ten player to watch this year. He was all Big Ten first team a year ago. Played the full 90, both games against the Beavers. You know, Hall's another guy who could be the creator and he could be the finisher. Another Eastside Seattle kid from Liberty High, Newcastle. Played for the Sounders Academy. We'll talk a little bit about the pedigree of so many of these players who are coming out of good academy systems and great clubs. I mean, you could talk about Crossfire Premier and Redmond all night. And the Sounders and Timbers Academy, which both have elevated their game in recent years. You saw our man in the middle, the referee Cedric Adams tonight. The assistants are Eric Romero, Ian Miller, and Powell Soika is the fourth. Soika was the center ref in the women's game earlier. Big day for him. Coming to the 12th minute, and now Stockton Short will take his time with a restart. Just one shot in the game, and that was Washington early. And despite all the contact, just one foul apiece. No bookings yet, but we will have that. Nessie retreats. Catlett, the tallest player for Oregon State at 6'5", from Alaska, but did the boarding school thing at Shattuck St. Mary's in Minnesota. Now forward for Oregon State, Evan Carlock, the freshman. Carlock ridden off the ball, keeps it in play. Looked like he went over the line, but we play on. And the ball gets in the middle, slightly dangerous, but the Huskies get the clearance. Igor Akolov, who along with Bertos, just a formidable inside middle. Oh, and that ball was over the line. Washington wanted the goal kick. No matter, they get possession. But you see guys battling for the ball early. Now Washington throw in the final third. Carlock was involved for Oregon State. Now we go into touch. Carlock will retreat, and again, more high pressure coming from Savdi. Savdi is just waiting for somebody to make a mistake. And Hernandez also pressing pretty well. So this is what Oregon State has to overcome. They've done pretty well so far. Get into the attacking third now, working up the left side. That's taken away from Eisenberg, out of bounds. Max Eisenberg, what a coming out for the redshirt freshman at UC Irvine. Scored twice, the game-winning goal, or the game-tying goal. And he played 28 minutes off the bench against Fullerton. He plays at a very high rate, so you do have to watch his minutes. Portland kid, but took online schooling. Missed last year with an ACL. Has looked good so far this year. T2 for the Timbers. About 4 years ago, he was kind of the next big thing in Generation Adidas. Had a hat trick in the All-Star game. Now here's Ray, bumped into the corner. Quick throw in for Oregon State. Beavers very patient in the early going. Haven't put a shot on goal. Gonzalo Aranes. Take that, that's Catlett. Aranes isn't in the game yet. Catlett kind of probes the right side, but retreats. Catlett again. Open space down the right side. Here's Carlock. Carlock centers, but too strong by Milo Ray. Oh, the table was set for Ray. A transfer from James Madison. And Carlock has found himself running free a couple times early on. Carlock, another small town kid from farm country in Wisconsin, west of Madison, went to a charter school. And then played club soccer in St. Louis. Huskies push forward. Beavers doing a good job in the air. Really a lot of good size on both these teams. So the aerial duels will be pretty entertaining in this game. Now space to the left. Huskies will take their time. Zach Meyer. Wyatt Lewis, the other Notre Dame transfer. So the two Wyatts from Notre Dame now playing on opposite teams. They got together for coffee this morning. Carlock again. Carlock forward. Too far? Yes. And getting back, Akalov sends it out of harm's way. That was very close to being a connection with Borso, speaking of the Wyatts. Now Washington up the right side, side-to-side contact. That'll be a foul. And Washington will get the restart. Akalov working on trying to get a yellow for his opponent, but not quite. It all starts with Asher Histad. Oh, it's Histad who got run down. He's the third member, notable member of that back line. He's another MLS guy. He's drafted by Colorado in the Super Draft. He was all tournament at the College Cup last year in Raleigh. Sounders Academy guy, originally from Seattle. Ooh, a little trouble there. And the Beavers play it safe. And temperature about 70 degrees. Good humidity. We will not have hydration breaks tonight. At least they're not scheduled. Washington gets another opportunity. Alex Hall finding Zach Meyer. Lofi to the corner. Meyer sent in, but right to Nicholson. There was a half chance in the air. That was a little too strong for Savdi. And again, Savdi, he's not the tallest guy out there, but he gets in the air and makes himself taller. So a little chess match earlier on, a little contact. Very good ball control. The Beavers changing directions, getting a lot of touches in this sequence. Eisenberg on the left. Eisenberg still battling. Still battling. Now he goes down. That will not get a whistle. Ball sent forward, and way out of the net is Nicholson. The fearless John Nicholson, junior from San Mateo, California. Earthquakes Academy guy. He has played MLS Next for the Town Club in Oakland. Now some space for Oregon State. Here comes Eisenberg. Eisenberg, Kuthialarius, centered up, too strong. Carlock again. Was that touched? It is. It'll be a corner for the Beavers. And Nessie goes out to take it. This will be Oregon State's second corner. Washington has none so far. Beavers have some bodies in the six. There's Eisenberg lurking at the near post. In swinger, high on the six, put in the air. Washington gets a touch on it, and now a race for it. Boy, there's Softy, who is just working hard out of the back. But the Beavers will get the throw in. Now this kind of shows you how hard these teams are working early. And it might very well be the depth and stamina that makes a difference, and that would go in Oregon State's favor, again, having not played for 7 days, and Washington again played on Thursday. So with play slowed down, Washington again extends pressure. Oregon State will wait him out. Cuvilieris gives the ball back. Carlock. Carlock's been a pretty good instigator early. Now he'll go back and try to track down Zach Meyer. Meyer beats him, but does not beat Cuvilieris. And a set piece coming for Washington. This will be their first corner kick. Nearing the midway point of the first half. No score. Alex Hall. He has an option short with Cam Cruz, but he'll take it in swinger. Danger, swatted away by Nicholson. Huskies, though, control in the attacking half. Zach Meyer will get it started. Wyatt Lewis getting a touch. Nice ball through. Lofi. Too much. A corner coming up for Washington. So now the second corner kick in a short period of time for the Huskies. And Hall will get this done. Hall sends it in, deflected. And out for another corner. Hall came up big in postseason. Game-winning goals against Maryland and Furman in postseason. Furman, that was in the College Cup. This is an outswinger. Header. Lofi, good idea. Over the bar, Beavers with a goal kick. And Oregon State is on a great stretch through multiple coaches. Terry Boss, Greg Dalby, who Brookins was an assistant to, and then, of course, Jared himself. Haven't finished lower than third place in any conference when they played the WCC a year ago. In 8 seasons, third was the lowest. Ooh, takeaway there for Oregon State. That gets the crowd into it. Milo Ray, swing it to the left, some space. A chip headed the other way by Akalov. Not out of harm's way though, top of the box. Sent back in by Eisenberg. No control in a dangerous space. Oregon State keeps it in the attacking end. Catlett. Cross to Gavin Wolf. Good turn. Ball sent in by Nessie. Too strong. We're 25 minutes in. Scoreless game. Washington, Oregon State. Between them, only one loss this year. And for Washington, that was the number 3 team in the country, University of San Diego. So Washington on the restart. Here's Harrison Bertos. Haven't said his name much. He's locking down on defense, but he'll come forward, get up in the air and do some damage. He's has 2 goals on his only 2 shots this season. Also has 2 yellow cards. Lofi gets things going for the Huskies. Moves right, finds Cruz. Cruz dispossessed. Beavers push it the other way. And the goalkeeper is out. And here comes Eisenberg, and wide to the left. Oh, Max Eisenberg, what do we say? Always dangerous. Little misplay on the ball. Eisenberg pounces on that, got the keeper way out. And that ball just wide to the left. Good job by Hested to get back for Washington. Was going to at least offer some help at the near post. Now Carlock just sends a long one. Another air battle. Beavers end up with possession. Again, they'll retreat. Back line's been solid for Oregon State so far. And allowing just 2 shots for Washington, 1 unframed. And a retreat to Nicholson. Nicholson has allowed 3 goals in 2 games, made 7 saves. Now for the year, he's up to 8. Two years ago, he played behind Gandhi Cruz. Got 6 starts in then, and he was ready last year to be the every night man in the net. Wishu in the middle. Get into the penalty area. The takeaway by Hernandez for Washington. But Oregon State will end up with the throw-in. Here's Carlock. Couldn't find a teammate. Now a slip by Hernandez. And that will be called a foul by Ray. The grass was pretty well watered today. This has not been a great growing season, really anywhere in the Northwest. You know what that's like if you're trying to play in grass fields. But this field is in good shape for August. It's required a little bit of babying, but they do water it down, so it is a little slippery early on. And of course, with no sun now and a little bit of a wind, gotta watch your footing. Washington now with their 4th corner, so they had none early, and now they're getting in position to benefit from this. And here's Hall again. He's had a couple of dangerous in-swingers. Let's see what he does. Strong far post, header, and it's in. Washington takes the lead. Well, Hall has been delivering these balls right and left. And the header, I believe it's Akolov will get credit for the goal. But it's all this ball. And Akolov wins the aerial battle with 2 Oregon State defenders.
Now winning the game for the Huskies, number 21, Osato, and Bulele.
Now they're giving credit to Bertos,
And number 10,
but I'm pretty sure that was Akolov. We'll check that as we go. Washington makes a couple subs after that, but happy to get the first goal in the 29th minute. Softy's out. He had a good first shift. Callum Lugton in now. And Wyatt Lewis is out. And here comes a guy who's been one of the regulars, Osato Inabulele. Sophomore from Texas. Had a goal in the NCAA tournament last year. 6 starts in 23 games. Another dangerous guy out of the midfield like Hall, who can create, service, or finish.
Number 23, Gonzalo Aranas. Number 10,
And now Oregon State makes their first subs.
29, Paul
And
Facto.
here's the exciting new Spaniard this year. I mean, Oregon State's had their share of Spanish players the last several years. Gonzalo Aranas, the 18-year-old freshman from Las Rosas, Spain. That's just outside of Madrid. And he is from the Real Madrid Academy and ended up playing for Las Rosas, the other program there, on their 3rd division team. So young guy and a lot of quality experience. He's number 23. We'll see how fast he gets involved in the offense. Paul Facto has come in for Ray. Facto has been a very reliable sub this year. The junior from Bend, whose main experience was high school soccer, but has come in and been very good off the bench. But it's Washington, and the 29th gets it started. And now they did confirm the goal is Akalov. That's certainly what it appeared to be, with number 4 getting up in there. But Bretos is right there. I mean, Bretos is capable of doing that. He'll win those balls. But Akalov fully credited for that, his first goal. He had an assist on the game-winning goal that Berto scored in the NCAA College Cup Championship game. Akalov, another one of the Crossfire Premier kids, of course, from his neighborhood, essentially, in Redmond, Washington. So a half hour in, Washington has struck Oregon State. Looks to reply. And Kevin Wolf will bring it in a retreat. And Washington relentless in their pressure. Cameron Cruz getting into this. Lugton stepping right in to the spot that Savdi was playing. Now Oregon State breaks over the center line. Here's Carlock. He's gotten some things started. Carlock. Aiden Marquez has come on for Oregon State as well. It's Marquez's first appearance of the season. The redshirt sophomore, Huntsville, Alabama. Played his academy soccer in Phoenix. Now Husky possession. Hernandez loses his feet, but not possession. Now the Beavers extending pressure with Facto. Stockton Short takes his time. Boots the ball to midfield. Controlled there by Meyer. Dispossessed. Beavers have it. There's Facto. Facto in a jackpot here. And now being wrestled down by 2. This may be a card. That's going to be an advisory from our center official, Cedric Adams. This will be an OSU free kick. Dangerous spot. Top corner. So Anabulele has got a grip on him. And then Zach Meyer jumps in. That probably was not necessary. Anabulele was getting the job done. So good set piece opportunity for Oregon State. They're looking far post. Hernandez-Parra, who's also new to the game. Oliver Hernandez-Parra, sophomore in the Bay Area, Pittsburgh, California. This sets up a Beaver corner now. This will be their third. And Tim Hoffman, midfielder. Somebody whose name we haven't really called yet in the game. Sophomore from Hamburg, Germany. Was all freshman on the West Coast Conference a year ago. Sends it high in the 6, still controlled by Oregon State. Follow-up, boom, too strong. So the Beaver bench continues to pressure, and it's Hernandez. Oh, might have had a hand in there by one of the defenders, although certainly inadvertent. Marquez keeps the ball in play for Oregon State. Taken away by Enabulele. Beavers retrieve. Marquez gets up in the air. So Marquez, another one of those Oregon State players who's with the Bangers USL2 team this year, along with Milo Ray and Diego Rodriguez. Ooh, a little trouble here. And the Beavers get out of it. Carlock. Long ball across to the left. The attack comes from there. Out of the middle. Ball loose in the box, and it comes to short. Offensive player down, but nothing going on there. Fecto involved in all that. Oh, tough clearance for short. Oregon State keeps it in play. Alex Hall now for Washington. Got some open space on the left. Meyer wants the ball, doesn't get it. Bodies down on the right side, and Oregon State will get the ball back. Contact. And for all the contact, only 6 fouls total, 3 apiece on these teams. Cedric Adams doing a good job keeping this game moving. Even with the physical play, really nothing nasty. Got a couple of great competitive teams here. You let them play the game. Oregon State, good balance, coming to midfield, retreat briefly. There's Hernandez. That'll be an Oregon State throw in pretty deep near the 18 line. Oregon State's been pretty liberal on the bench, bringing in Hoffman, Marquez, Aranez, and Fecto. Washington just the 2 subs, Lugton and Enabulele. Dead center. Beavers go right. There's Carlock. Carlock cuts back into the box. Leaves it free. Ball to the middle. Tipped the other way. Oh, great idea for Oregon State by Marquez. But nobody had the angle to push it past short. Ooh, and now a shot as the Huskies look to clear, and Alex Hall eats a little grass. That was Kudilieris. Yeah, there was no one else there, and really a good job with that ball so close to the goal. Akalov scooped it out of harm's way for Washington. Plenty of time for Short to send the ball long. And OSU gets it right back. Oregon State will take some time. And Washington makes a sub. Emmett Lehman, transfer from Point Loma. Good Division II player who was injured, just getting healthy. So another guy that Jamie Clark wanted to get more minutes tonight. And Lehman's in for Kevin Hernandez. So an opportunity for Lehman in the final minutes of the first half. He was a Division II All-American last year, 15 goals. Before that, 2 years at Point Loma, he played at Fort Lewis, champions of the Rocky Mountain, and that's a good NAIA conference. So he's a capable goal scorer. 40th minute, all the sun has been drained out of the sky. Lights taking effect. First night action of the year at Paul Lorenz Field. Huskies scrapping for the ball. That was Cameron Cruz. And we may have a coach's challenge here. Or just a blood check. So an opportunity will be given to clean up the player involved. That's Alex Hall. Boy, Alex Hall, for an offensive player, he's been involved in some physicality. There he is. I'll give him a chance to stop the bleeding rather than come out. So a little break here in the final 5 minutes of the half. You know, we were saying this earlier, the coaches' challenges this year, where each team has 2. I mean, that's really the equivalent of timeouts, and you will not be surprised at all, I think, to see challenges this year that really have nothing to do with how close a play was, but simply to change momentum. And as long as that's available, coaches are going to use them. And now we resume. Washington scored on the 29th. Hall with the corner kick, Akalov with the header. Total of 8 shots, 2 on goal by both teams in the game. 7 total corners. It's been as even as you would think between 2 of the best teams on the West Coast. Danger on the left side now. Ball set in. Nicholson dives, just got a hand on it, and that deflects to a Beaver defender, but not out of harm's way yet. Washington holds it in the zone. Fernandez has come back in. Looks like Alex Hall changed jerseys. He's wearing number 44 now. State space in the middle. Here's Hoffman. Too strong. Was a touch? It is. Corner for Oregon State. It'll be the Beavers' 4th corner kick. Washington has 4. And Hoffman will go out to take this. Big opportunity here, final 3 minutes of the first half. In swinger. Headed by Washington, straight up in the air, man down. A lot of guys in the box. Beavers keep it in. Catlett, little gentle shot. Comes back the other way. Centered up by Hoffman. Nothing there. So the Beavers gotten some good space there. Still don't have a shot on frame, but they've certainly been in the danger zone. And with 2 minutes remaining in the half, Oregon State will regroup. And the psychology of getting an equalizer here, where you strike a blow and make the other team go to the tent and think about it. A whistle, and I'm not sure why we're stopped, as everybody goes to the bench. Do we have a challenge? I'm not sure what we'd be challenging. Our center official, Cedric Adams, goes to talk to Jared Brookins directly, but both teams go to the benches. And now a visit to the Husky bench. And now there will be a review. And this was requested by Brookins. So this probably goes back to not the corner kick, but the shot by Wolf. Again, that was about a minute ago. Well, it wasn't a long look. So my guess is nothing's being overturned. Both benches being involved. Well, I think you know the answer. Jared Brookins does not look thrilled. So I'm guessing the review does not allow for any reversal. Here's what we were doing. It was the corner. So was it the, two players taken down in the box. I think that's Enabulele in particular. And a penalty kick coming for Oregon State in the final 2 minutes of the half. Who's going to take it? Going to be Marquez. Marquez in his first game as a Beaver. Stockton short, that's his view. Marquez. Saved! And the Huskies knew they were getting this with Stockton short. He gets off his feet. He has great instincts. Look at that. Now he went low, but he took the angle away and he knew exactly what was coming. That ball's a little higher, it goes in, even if you make the right guess. But now a corner for the Beavers. Beaver corner comes in. Far post, worth chasing down. And it'll be another corner. I'm not sure why, but another chance for Oregon State. Here's Hoffman. In swinger, far post, too far. Cuvilieris was there. And now we'll get a very late Washington sub as we approach the 45th minute. But Stockton absolutely fabulous with that stop on the PK. Alex Hall back in the game. Oh, and he got his number 7 jersey cleaned up. So 44 gets packed away. Oh, and a chance for Washington from midfield. And Hall will take it. And went out not long ago with a bloody nose. Had to change his jersey. Went out to change it again. And he's back in lucky number 7. Might be the last chance of the half. Good ball into the box. Another battle with the header. Out of bounds, off who? Off Oregon State. Almost looked like Enabulele got the last touch on it. Final seconds of the half, they're not going to get this off. Well, they do. And now the half comes to an end. A couple more seconds, the Huskies would have had one more chance. But it's everything we expected. Great action, back and forth. The defending national champs score early. The Beavers have had threats of their own, and we're just getting started. Halftime at Paul Lorenz Field on the campus of Oregon State University. Washington 1, Oregon State 0. More to come from Corvallis. We're in the gloaming in Corvallis, Oregon. As summer starts to fade away, number 11 Washington leading number 25 Oregon State 1-0. Bob Akamian back with you. Everything we expected. Great action, a lot of contributors, physical play, but not excessively. And again, just another great addition. The 65th time Washington and Oregon State have met. And that's just since 1989. They play each other twice a year. They have so many times. And this series will certainly continue even with teams in different conferences. Well, we promised you action. Here's how it's gone so far. Washington, the aggressor early on. And Hall, a very busy guy. He's the guy who, again, come out with a bloody nose. Creates an opportunity, gets a shot. Carlock, huge from the right side for Oregon State. That one just a little strong for Milo Ray. Huskies again, great service to the box, but right to Nicholson. Now the Beavers off a turnover. Big chance for Eisenberg. Eisenberg had a little flurry there where you thought he was going to get a goal. But this was it for Washington. Beautiful ball, far post corner kick for Hall. And one of those hard workers from the back for the Huskies, Akalov rising up. Dangerous ball here. And the Beavers get a chance. And a PK after a review, but a save by Stockton Short. Saved it with the leg, extending the body, and that preserves the lead for Washington. It is 1-0 at intermission. The Huskies looking to go 3-1 on the year. The Beavers without a defeat so far, 1 victory and a draw. They'd love to keep that 0 in the loss column. More to come as we continue our Big Ten Pac-12 matchup. Old friends, old foes, Oregon State and Washington on Pac-12 Insider. Final 45 set to go. Jamie Clark would love to extend this lead for the defending national champs. Talked about these new faces on the attack for Washington. Of course, 2 big guns from last year. 2 of the top 3 scorers, Charlie Kosakoff and Richie Ammon, played such big roles, and they have moved on professionally already this year. Kosakoff with LAFC 2. And Ammon has been loaned out to Loudoun in the USL. And both getting minutes. So those two, they're losing big minutes with them. But again, you've got back Zach Ramsey, who hasn't. By the way, Zach Ramsey hasn't played. May not play. He went hard against Portland on Thursday. And then Harrison Bertos, of course, who's a big hero. And also from the back row, Igor Akalov, who has the only goal of the night off that corner kick from Alex Hall. That came in the 29th minute, and that's why we're here now. 1-0 Washington. Second half ready to go. We'll go through some of the Pac-12 and Big Ten women's results. Of course, earlier, Washington defeating Oregon State 2-1. We'll give you the lineups on the field in just a moment. A lot of the Pac-12 women were in action today. Gonzaga failed to Seattle U 3-2. Beavers and Huskies will both see the Red Hawks in the upcoming weeks. Texas State keeps rolling, 5-0 over Texas Southern. Colorado State fell to South Carolina 1-0. Boise State beating Idaho State 3-1. Again, Washington beating Oregon State 2-1. So those were all the Pac-12 women's results. Pretty good West Coast matchup earlier. UCLA beating Santa Clara at Santa Clara 3-2. UCLA ranked 17th in the coaches poll. And from the Big Ten, Wisconsin beat Illinois Chicago 5-1. St. Louis defeated Indiana 2-0. These are women's scores in the Big Ten. Northwestern beat Butler 1-0. Minnesota over St. Thomas 2-1. And Michigan State defeating Colorado 3-2. So all of the women's games complete. So the only game of interest in these two conferences is this San Diego State Cal Poly going on right now. They were scoreless at half. That's Pac-12 men in action. And the second half has begun in that game in San Luis Obispo. All right, check the lineups here. Oregon State has Nicholson, Zapian, Eisenberg. Hoffman stays in for the second half. Ray, Hernandez, Couteliers, Carlock, Catlett. Fecto stays on as well. And Wolf. Dangerous there. Beavers have a chance. Follow-up! And they get one to open the second half. Second ball for Milo Ray, his second goal of the season. And it took less than 2 minutes to find the equalizer. Difficult ball in the air. That was not the clearance you want. And it falls right to Ray, who puts it in. Milo Ray, the Portland product, online high school, 2 years at James Madison. Played in 33 games, but came home. His club was T2 with the Timbers. Played for the Bangers this summer. Fecto will get the assist. That was him up in the air. He didn't actually touch the ball that went to Ray, but he was in the vicinity. He was the original target in the box. So the equalizer comes early, and it's a whole new game. It's been this close, really, all the way. And now Oregon State out shooting Washington 9-4. Both teams have 2 shots on goal. Oregon State has more corners, so you can see who the aggressor is, and maybe the Husky legs are a little heavier after that game with Portland. Even though Washington, I felt was dominant, but Portland played very physical, made them work. And that's really the trifecta of Northwest soccer right now is Portland, Washington, Oregon State. Huskies, though, get right back in the groove, all centered up side of the net. It was Hested making the run all the way up the right side. And that is off a Beaver player, so it'll be a corner. And Hall, who has been very busy tonight, will take another set piece. Far post. OSU defender gets it in the air. Kept in play. Into the 6. Another header. Won by Washington. Goes the wrong way. Hall gets it back. A little too many players in the crowd. And Oregon State able to dump it to the other end. It is retrieved by Cameron Cruz. Washington on the field right now. Bertos, Akalov, Hested. Lugton stays in. Meyer, Cruz, Lofi, Lewis, Savdi. The Huskies are staying with that formula. You know, Ramsey's there on the bench. They want to push later. Well, if they get down to it, 20, 30 minutes of Zach Ramsey could be very dangerous. Beavers come forward. Hoffman again. Hoffman. To Eisenberg. Eisenberg to the top! And a bending ball goes in! Tim Hoffman! From Eisenberg, Oregon State takes the lead. Nice cutback by Eisenberg. And look at this ball, top corner, unplayable. From Tim Hoffman. First goal of the year. He had 2 a year ago. And in 5 minutes, this game completely turns around. And Eisenberg with a big star on that assist. That's his 2nd assist of the year. He had the assist on the game-winning goal, or the game-tying goal, at Irvine a week ago. And now the shots 10-4 in favor of Oregon State. And pace of this game has completely changed. Again, Washington has the horses to stay patient. They got Ramsey in their pocket. Here's Lofi trying to get things going. That ball a little too far. Oregon State controls. Carlock starts it up the left side. Can't clear it out. Lofi has it right back. Lofi to the left. He'll get it back. Touch a little heavy. Beavers will clear. Hoffman from Eisenberg in the 50th. So Ray and Hoffman have scored for Oregon State. Okoloff for Washington. And of course, Stockton Short saved the penalty kick in the first half. That's looking pretty important now for Washington. That would have been a big downer to be 1-1 at the half. But now the Huskies have to overcome a deficit on the road. Again, against a fresher team. Deep throw-in coming for Washington. This will be Hested. Headed the wrong way. He'll get it back. Now long ball in. Still in play. Man down in the box. We play on. Wishy clears it. So the Beavers now with the lead, not as patient trying to clear the ball out of their own end, at least the last 2 Husky surges on offense. Never long ball in. Lofi trying to keep it in play. Lofi's been active here in the opening minutes of the second half. Well, since 2019, as good as both these programs have been, Oregon State's gotten the better of Washington. Last 11 games, 5 victories for Oregon State, 3 for Washington, 3 draws. And last year they split the 2 games, both played here. Ested again on the move, cuts back to the right, tries to run through the defender, and that should be a goal kick, and it is. Hested and Eisenberg. Here's Eisenberg getting back defensively. And the ball's off Hested. That was some good work for Eisenberg.
Let's go!
So a little pause in the action. Let Nicholson clear it. A lot of football remaining tonight. And Washington pressing a little bit, and that ball's off the Husky. It'll be a Beaver throw-in upfield. That was Lugton. Here's Wolf throwing it up near midfield. Washington's been a little anxious on a couple of possessions. Just punching the ball in. They got plenty of quality to work with. They can win this ball on their end, maybe not. Beavers have possession. Here's Eisenberg again. All right, you saw him play defense. Now he creates. Comes to the middle, little contact there. Eisenberg. Oh, big contact there. Eisenberg against Savdi. No booking though. Just the restart. Savdi kind of turned into him. But still a little danger on defense. Didn't hurt. Huskies back in touch. Take the ball right to left. Now it's Oregon State fighting the press again, but they come forward. Not good numbers, 3 against 5. Here's Eisenberg. Eisenberg cuts back. Ball is blocked. UW wanted a handball, doesn't happen. Oh, and a big crash there. That was Hernandez just bowling over the UW defender. Time is called. Maybe trainers coming out. There doesn't look like there's going to be a card. And it's Cruz. Oh, she was neutralized Cruz for much of a night. But Hall has run wild. And Washington has this great collection of guys who play, 9, 10, top. I mean, sometimes it looks like a 4-3-2-1, not quite the Christmas tree. But sometimes just one on the top, especially when Ramsey's there. And today, it's just been multi-headed snake of offense. And here they come, getting in the face of Nicholson, who will clear the ball. That's Savdi. See, Savdi was right in the middle there, so he's playing all the way forward. What's Seattle kid? Oh, no. Check that. The Newport High School kid from Bellevue. Newport Knights, big soccer school. Oregon State now will put the ball back into play. Nicholson now has 2 saves. Short has 1. Now Short will wait. Oregon State extends a press, opens a transition opportunity. Nothing comes of it. Savdi wins the ball. And now Washington will take their time. Fascinating watching both these teams just trying to impose their will. So much talent on this field. And if you're staying up late with us to watch the best game in the West. Good on you. The best game in the West earlier for the ladies was UCLA Santa Clara. The Bruins winning on the road. Oh, nice ball through. Lofi turns too tight. That was set up by Cruz. We mentioned Cameron Cruz not getting involved. He did there. Nice cutback. Got the ball to Lofi and leads to a corner. And guess who? Alex Hall will take another one. Well, Hall played the full 90 against the Beavers both games last year. He's been out for about 3 minutes in this match, and it was all about the bloody nose, and he sets things up, and Washington gets the equalizer. And there's Harrison Bertos, game winner in the College Cup, and he draws Washington level. Beavers cannot clear it from the 6. So there's Hall's ball in. OSU wins the header. Hall gets it right back. And it looks like the attempt, I think that was Lofi at the near post, but the ball goes through to the far post. Berto says, I don't mind, I'll put it in. So Hall should get the assist. So Hall will have 2 assists in the game now. And in the 59th minute, we're level at 2. And Hall does get the assist, as he should. So 2 assists for Alex Hall. He's had a tremendous night. And now it's going to be about a 30-minute trophy dash to the finish. And you've got 2 teams that want this badly. More pressure from Washington, left side. That'll be out for a goal kick. The Iron Man, John Nicholson, San Mateo, California. 5 clean sheets now in his career. Got number 5 at Fullerton last Sunday. Ball one in the air for Washington by Wyatt Lewis. And a scrap, we're going to go the other way. Now Washington's starting to pull a little momentum back. And we have reached the 1 hour mark, 2-2 draw between the number 11 and 25 teams in the country. The new coach's poll will be out late tomorrow, Tuesday morning. We'll see where this all falls. Portland is going to fall from that 3rd spot. Big blast by Hall, too strong. Again, Washington very impressive, dispatching the Pilots 4-2 on Thursday. We'll see where San Diego lands. Washington, just depending on this result. I mean, I think the Huskies should be in the top 10 anyway, regardless of what happens tonight. And we'll see what the result does for the Beavers. Oh, and Eisenberg really unhappy with that. Better be careful. He's going to get a yellow. Nessie settles him down. See, that drew the attention now. Cedric Adams is going to come over. He's just going to give him words, though. Well, on the shirt and then extended the arm again. Not much question there. Ooh, header into the danger zone. No bodies there for Washington. Now some space for Hall. Pushed off the ball. Good clearance. Leaves 1v1. Get a long ball forward quickly. Short has to come way out of the goal. And clears it out of the stadium. Beavers will push forward quickly for a throw-in. So after a little low, OSU tries to play fast. From the dimly lit far sideline. Short throw, trying to maintain possession, doesn't work. Washington wins a couple balls in the air. Oh, now they'll get to regroup. Goes left to right. That ball way too far forward, though, for Hestet. Oregon State will take it into touch. Contact flaring up again. And again, I give credit to Cedric Adams for not blowing the whistle too much. Laying off the discipline, especially the bookings. And has allowed this game to go on. And again, the contact, it just hasn't been that severe. Almost a takeaway for Oregon State. That was Eisenberg. Eisenberg tonight an assist on the second Beaver goal. Big takeaway for Oregon State. On the move, it's Gavin Wolf. Wolf, a lot of room on the left. Crosses back to the middle, shot deflected. Good opportunity for Nessie, the follow-up! And the Beavers retake the lead. And another great second ball. Shorts off. Oregon State takes the lead. Eisenberg gets a goal. Well, it started with Nessie, and there's the follow-up. Oh, and top shelf stuff. Look at the space. It'll be Eisenberg. Nessie should get an assist for this. In the 64th minute. And Nessie or Eisenberg will also get a yellow. A little too much celebration, but big moment. He'll take it. So now Washington chasing from behind again. For Oregon State, this is now the third straight game scoring 3 goals. They did it coming from behind to draw with Irvine and blanking Fullerton. And we may have a review. Yeah, we are going to have a review, and I'm wondering if Washington is challenging, looking for an offside. You know, that's what you use the challenges for. You want the official to look at it, even if they didn't see it in real time. And Cedric Adams is going to have to go take a look. And they are going to review the Oregon State goal. So Adams tells both coaches what he's looking at. And I think the question would be, was Oregon State offside on the rebound from Nessie's shot? You know, we're all so focused looking at where the ball was. All right, slowing down. The ball's coming from there. Oh, yes. Wyatt Borso. In fact, Borso might have been offside on Nessie's ball even before that. So that's not just gamesmanship by Washington. And we'll see if this stands. So again, a little break for these players who are just wringing everything out of this night, especially Washington. Second high-intensity game in 4 days. Here comes the decision. Now, Jared Brookings doesn't look thrilled. Let's see what Jimmy Clark's face looks like. We won't see that. Yes! Goal stands. Eisenberg from Nessie and Gavin Wolf will also get an assist. For Wolf, that's his first assist of the year. He had the second goal at Irvine. So Washington led 1-0 at half. Second half, it's been 3-1 Oregon State, but Washington looks just as dangerous. And the Beavers will have a throw-in. And close to a half hour still remaining. What else can happen in this game? Nicholson puts this ball high in the air. Hested will win the header. UW comes forward. The pace settles down. Oregon State will throw in. Now the Beavers change direction. Catlett's going to have to track this down all the way to the right side. Contact. And down, that's Carlock. He's had a good night. And he will not take the restart. Definitely clipped his foot on an ankle. But we play on, Beavers. We'll send the ball forward. Nicholson comes all the way out to take it. Ooh, and a mishandle there, and that sets up a corner. And you see the Huskies so good in the air, and they will use headers to pass the ball. Corner coming now for Oliver Hernandez-Parra. Oregon State's 8th corner. Huskies have 7. In swinger. Header! Score! Boy, these teams so good on the set plays. And it's Borso to make it 4-2. Absolutely beautiful ball by Hernandez. His first assist of the year. And Borso, 3rd goal of the campaign. He's been the most prolific attacker for Oregon State. Shots taken. Hasn't been as involved tonight. Right man, right place, right ball. And in the 67th minute, Oregon State extends their lead. Battle in the air. Go the other way. Oregon State will take control. The crowd even more so involved in this. Another air battle. Out of bounds for Washington. Subs coming for the Huskies. Or for the Beavers, I should say. And here is Aranza for his second shift. Young Spanish player. So Oregon State's international lineup shrunk a little bit this year. They have 7 internationals, if you count the Italian, Tommaso Riccordi, who just arrived and will be able to play next week. 21-year-old from Milan. So the Beavers have 4 Spaniards, Hoffman the German, Riccordi, and the Canadian, Gian Antonio. Last year, they had 13 foreign players, 6 Spaniards, Hoffman, Germany, Italy, Trinidad and Tobago, Belgium, United Kingdom, and Uganda represented. Ball forward for Washington. Oh, trouble there. Contact, shot wide. Oh, that almost went really bad for Oregon State. And let's see if we get a free kick for Washington. No. Bulele hit the ground hard. Boy, there were 2 potential fouls on Oregon State there. Catlett had his legs up, and we're going to review, and I think Washington's going to get an opportunity here. I'm not sure which piece of contact, but there are 2 chances that the Huskies will be rewarded. So, Catlett can't handle the ball, gets his leg up, see right there. That's a possibility. That would be it. The contact on Bulele at second review is incidental momentum, but I mean, that could be a yellow on Catlett. But that would be a very dangerous free kick from the top of the penalty area. Again, plenty of time. 2-goal lead, 69th minute. These 2 teams have already had 6 goals tonight, plus a penalty kick denied. What else could happen? I already said this about, a half hour ago. This is why you're watching. Remember, in officiating this year, situations where it's either a league-mandated replay or sometimes just a school, I shouldn't say mandated, but offered. Now there is access to all the camera angles we can show you on TV. Previously, it was just those really wide, long-distance shots, which made it very hard to see a lot of detail. So, depending on how big the TV production is in any venue this year, the refs have more choices. And this has taken a while. And Oregon State's first appearance this year at Lorenz Field, and they will not be back till September 23rd. Eastern road trip. Game at Portland. facing two ranked teams in Georgetown and the Pilots, and Virginia, who might very well be ranked. And they lost quite a bit from their postseason team a year ago. A long look. Oh, and coach is getting a little impatient. You see one of the officials come in. Yeah, we're still looking. All right, now it looks like it's decided. Well, maybe not. Cedric Adams goes back. Well, taking this long, this kind of points to it's not obvious, which means nothing will happen. Again, there was no foul. There's nothing. Jared Brookins brings out a tablet. Oh, I wonder if the replay screen's not functioning. Well, Oregon State's tablet has now gone into the tent. But my guess is there is no foul, no action. And it's not like if it was a matter of just needing another tablet, they're seeing the same angles. It's not like Oregon State's showing them something different. So we wait. We've seen a lot of this year already, collegiate games going well over the 2-hour mark. Here comes the decision because of these reviews. And we don't see the teams reacting. Oh, Jamie Clark's not happy, so Washington's not getting anything out of this. And I think Jamie has a good argument. No, goal kick. Wow. Well, if you're not sure, you don't overturn. That's the rule. And the Huskies clearly not happy with that. There was a possibility again of a free kick from right at the 18, dead center. Instead, Nicholson puts it back into play. Everyone gets a little rest, which means we're just going to get more frenzied as the game goes on. And Balele, by the way, has come back in for Savdi. And that ball's out of play. And you can just see the exhaustion on both teams creeping in between these moments of frenzy. And this is turning into a survival test. Still, we're about 70 degrees this evening. Now another Husky player down. Contact on the far side. Or a Beaver player down, I should say. Pretty good body check there by Zach Meyer. And getting to his feet, Tim Hoffman. One of Oregon State's internationals, second year in a row for the young man from Hamburg, Germany. He's played well tonight. Washington wants to be relentless, but again, a lot of time. And now Hoffman will come out, and Aiden Marquez comes back in. He had a good recent shift. Huskies throwing in the attacking half. Great crowd here tonight. A lot of visiting Washington friends and family. Oregon State women's team all out here. They had a great battle with the Washington women earlier. Got to watch that on Pac-12 Insider. Nicholson skies for that ball. Final 20 minutes unfolds. Oregon State, 4 second-half goals from Ray, Hoffman, Eisenberg, and Borso. Washington has 2 from Akolov and Bertos. Now the Huskies have time to get set for this. Ested will throw in. Deep in the box. He'll get it back. Heads it forward. Beavers get a bigger header. Get the ball out of harm's way. That's Wolf. And the Beavers send that ball forward. Force Washington to retreat. So will we see Zach Ramsey? Has not played tonight for the Huskies. You're thinking now, what can you get out of him? 20 minutes, this is a good time to bet the nation's leading scorer into the game. Oh, snipe there by Lugton. Nicholson will roll it out. Oregon State will try to clear it out of the back. Washington in that press. Beavers get around it. There goes Oranes. He's really good in space with that footwork. Finds Nessie. Nessie cuts it back. Deflected. Beavers have it. Looking the wrong way. Top of the box, now to the right. Turn. Oh, and run off the dribble. Boy, that was some fancy footwork by a couple of Oregon State players. Borso in the middle of that. They lose the possession, but big threat. And Short comes up with the ball. Now Washington wants to play fast. So we have a Washington sub getting ready to come in. UW, top of the box. Hall plays it through to the left. Huskies have all their midfielders spaced out nicely. Ball in the box, headed away. Is that Wolf again? Yes, it is. One in the air by Akolov. Akolov scored the first Washington goal tonight. Beavers have it, skipped forward by Nessie. Washington will have to regroup. Huskies can't make a combination. Oregon State will bring it down slow. Now a little burst. Carlock. Evan Carlock will get the throw in. Here comes the sub for Washington. Lugton's going to come out. And here's Kevin Hernandez back. Washington sends the ball the other way. Little shirt tug on Enabulele. That'll be a restart for the Huskies. Quarter hour remaining. Is there a card coming out? We're gonna have a booking, maybe. He's taking his time. Yes. A delayed yellow, but a yellow nonetheless. Kuvla Aris, freshman from Bothell, Washington.
Yellow card to John.
He was another one of those Crossfire Premier players. Crossfire Premier won 2 national champions, 24 and 25, and many of those players are on these 2 teams. Washington, nothing there, but out for a corner. And of course, Alex Hall, who's been incredibly busy, has 2 assists, 12 on set pieces. Gets it high in the box. Beavers get the deflection. Hall's going to try to cut it off. Ball comes forward, and that'll be a Washington throw-in. Now Washington playing with a little urgency. Lofi gets it back into play, and a second ball has come out on the field. There's definitely urgency on the field right now. Two-goal deficit. If you're Washington, you just got to get 1. That's all you can think about right now. Oregon State, even playing defensively, they press when that ball's in the middle. They're getting bodies forward. They're not going to sit back. There's a takeaway for Oregon State. Garlock. Garlock against Hall. Garlock leaps over the ball, loses possession, but keeps Washington from sending it. Now Hall gets it forward. Here's Hested. Hested and a Bulele. Beavers deny it. Huskies keep possession. From the right side, Cruz. Cruz gets it to Enabulele. Can't control it. Out for a goal kick. Every possession means more and more now. Last time Washington gave up 4 goals was in a Big Ten loss to UCLA November 7th of last year, 4-2. That's the score right now. Last time the Beavers scored 4 goals, they did 3 games in a row against Gonzaga, Seattle U, and Santa Clara late last October into November. Scored a total of 16 goals in those 3 WCC matches. Another big corner coming for Hall. Well, if anybody's going to supply the energy to come back, it's this guy, in-swinger. Headed the other way. Oh, and a big punch out by Nicholson. Tell you what, the air battles alone have been worth the price of admission tonight. Nicholson just taking care of business. And he gave up 3 goals against Irvine, but his teammates rallied for the draw. And it's been hard fought tonight with Washington's 2 goals. And Washington really wants some offense. They're kind of stuck on 8 shots, 4 on goal. Oregon State, 14 shots, 5 on goal. Corners have been even, so the opportunities have been there. The Huskies have had trouble connecting at the very end. Some good possession here. They're leaking bodies in the box. There's a big ball by Hall. Deflected back, and OSU sends it the other way. See Washington kind of drifting guys forward, forcing Oregon State to retreat rather than try to trap, and Hall's doing a great job of just kind of hesitating, daring Oregon State to send bodies at him. Now here we come to the final 10 minutes. So now we can almost start what-ifing what the polls will look like this week. Certainly a win for Oregon State would put the Beavers into the top 20. But I can't drop Washington that much, because I think they got dropped too much for losing to San Diego. Good ball forward for the Dogs. Here's Meyer. In close around the post, and they get one! Or do they? Yes, they do. That is Inobilele. Oh, what a tight angle. The assist will go to Cameron Cruz, and it's 4-3 in the 81st. They got what they needed. So Inobilele, his first goal of the year. He had 3 last year, including 1 against Maryland in the NCAA tournament. And Meyer and Cruz will get assists, but it's Cruz who did the work. And you think things were tight before. And we'll get another break as an injured Oregon State player is attended to. Inobilele completely off balance. Looks like some cramping being resolved. For the Beavers. Just under 10 minutes to play, and now it's a 1-goal match. Jacob Zapien, again back of a lineup tonight after sitting the Fullerton game with the Red. He will stay in, but to sneak a banana in there with his stretching. Well, you know, magnesium, good for the cramps. So again, a little bit of a breather in these final 10 minutes. We're going to get even more intense. And a sub coming.
Entering the game for the Beavers, number 3, Henry Blake. In for number 6, Jacob Zapien. And also entering the game, number 8, Diego Rodriguez. Entering for number
So Zapien will come out of the game, be replaced by Henry Blake, the freshman from Gig Harbor, Washington. Another Crossfire Premier player. Very athletic player. Big jump. He's 6 feet, but he gets up in the air. But Zapian has to come out with the cramps. He's done a lot today. No chance for Washington. Lofi going to his right. Got space. There's Cruz again. Deflected. But he'll win the ball back. Plays it to himself. And the Beavers step in, take it away. But they can't clear it. Zach Meyer for Washington. Again to Cruz. Cameron Cruz on a little tear right now, creating opportunity. Beavers also brought in Diego Rodriguez for Marquez on that last horn. And danger there. Whistle. Oregon State ball. The last time the Beavers and Huskies combined for 7 goals was 2017. One of those late season brawls, and the Beavers won here 4-3. And that is the equal. This is the second highest scoring game in history. Oregon State a winner in 2002, 6-3. Also here at Paul Lorentz Field. Ooh, long ball right to Nicholson. Good idea from the left side. Nicholson taking all the time he can. Of course, goalkeepers being scrutinized much more now for time wasting. And a sub for Washington. Emmett Lehman coming back for the second time. Foul was on Borso. Hall puts it back into play. Huskies near post, out for a corner. It'll be Washington's 10th corner to 8 for the Beavers. So Washington more assertive in the second half. And it's Hall again. In swinger. Ooh, and a little volley almost goes, but Nicholson saw it. Big time save. And time has stopped again. Oh, and I see why. Are they going to review this? As Akalov was in the grass. No, we're going to play on. Does Washington have another challenge? Well, Jamie Clark's not using it. 6 minutes remaining. And you're still in that awkward spot if you're Oregon State. Not parking the bus against this team because you'll pay the price. You'll lose a 1v1. And here come the Dogs again. Lehman dispossessed. But they get it back. Oh, and Zach Meyer does not like that. He thought he had the takeaway. Voices his displeasure. Ooh, is the card coming out? Yes, it is. And I think he gets the card for the dissent more than anything, more than the play. Well, and he looks like he's playing the player. Puts his shoulder into it. Carlock, look at that shifty move. Sends it into the box. Deflected out. Ooh, a little slip on the grass for Emmett Lehman. More slipping. Carlock's down. He's another guy who's had a really busy night. Getting another card. If that's Meyer, that's red. 2 yellows. And I don't think that's a card violation. This Meyer better dial it down or he'll get another one for dissent. Oh, there it is. Is that on Meyer? No, it's going to be Carlock. Interesting. Again, must be dissent. Front of plate certainly didn't dictate that. But tempers are strong right now out there. Ooh, dangerous ball in the box. Nicholson gets a hand on it. Out of harm's way. Anything could have happened there. Alex Hall again. Fights for control. Hall, big right foot. Looking for Inabulele. No. Out for a goal kick. Very late sub here for Oregon State in the 86th. Hernandez Parra comes back in. Mark Weeder, who made a very brief appearance, comes out. Or I think Weeder's coming in for the first time. Richard Jr. from Calabasas in California. Played 1 match last year, then redshirted. Beavers in space, trying to clear this ball out. And they do. Ooh, a nice little give and go. That was Nessie. Aranez. And to get the ball into the attacking third. Now time growing short, and Oregon State will utilize the gentle part of the dark arts of time wasting. Also maintaining possession. Nice little 3-man game going on. Now they send it in all the way to Stockton short. He'll quickly clear it. Huskies have a little more room on their left side. Beavers won't let him out of jail. Now they'll go down the middle. Air battle. Beavers win it. Ball falls to Washington. To the corner. There's Lehman. Lehman sends it across. Header! Saved by Nicholson off his feet! Great ball, great play in the air, and great play by the keeper as Hestad almost ties it. Look at the service. Oh, and Hestad. Great win in the air. And it all started with Lehman. Nicholson, maybe his biggest of his 3 saves tonight. Keeps Oregon State ahead. Final 3 minutes. Washington will continue to pressure. Huskies don't want their season to go level at 2-2. Ball in the penalty area. Retrieved by Meyer. Meyer lopes it in. Was it touched? Yeah, it's out for a corner. And once again, Alex Hall will take a set piece. 11th corner for Washington.
Come on, Huskies, let's go!
Beavers allowing a lot of bodies in the box. They're knocked down, and it's out for a goal kick. Now, they created a lot of congestion. Even though the Huskies won the ball in the air, it goes over the end line. Now we're coming down to the final 90 seconds. Nicholson will take time. Pull those socks up a little. Johnny Nicholson knows what to do. Crowd getting ready to cheer the Beavers home in the final minute. Stockton short picks up the loose ball. He'll send everyone forward. Well, we are not going to see Zach Ramsey tonight. The Huskies are going to try to do this without him. Ooh, play in the air. Ooh, and a Washington foul. Oregon State wins that. And now 1 minute remaining. And Hested will get a yellow. There's a lot of dissent going on out there right now. So now every possession, obviously critical. Oregon State taking a lot of time. Now the clock stopped. And there's a yellow on the bench. That was Jared Brookins. The Oregon State coach got a yellow. Or the bench did. I told you it's been an emotional night. And that might have been the Beaver assistant coach, Michael Bohanek, who's in his first year, former Western Oregon head coach. He looked a little peeved over there. Now that clock's ticking. Beavers will take their time on throw-ins. Washington Huskies need a takeaway, need to get that ball forward. Big scrap, and we go the other way. Washington will have it. So this is really it to get the ball forward to even have an opportunity. Zach Meyer. There's the long ball. And Abulele is there. Comes to Lehman. Into the box. 10 seconds. One last chance. Roller is wide. And that will do it. The final seconds tick off. And Oregon State comes from behind. 4 goals of the second half. And another great Husky Beaver game ends in a 4-3 Oregon State victory. The Beavers still undefeated, 2 victories and a draw. Washington now 2-2 on the year. And of course, implications for the national polls, no matter how early it is. There'll be some shifting when the poll comes out late on Monday. Everything we expected. The 65th edition of the rivalry, and the Beavers have now won 6 of the last 12. Washington now leads all time, 38 victories, 21 for Oregon State, and 6 draws. And a lot of these players know each other from club soccer, age group competition, USL, MLS next. Of course, the 2 former Notre Dame teammates getting together. Wyatt Borso and Wyatt Lewis. And both these teams will take things away from this game as we go forward. More tough non-league action necessary for both programs. Oregon State, big road trip going underway. The Huskies will travel home into the beautiful Sturgeon Moon. That'll do it from Paul Lorentz Field in Corvallis. Final score, Oregon State 4, Washington 3. For all of our hard-working crew at Pac-12 Insider, I'm Bob Akamian. Thanks for being with us. You've been watching Pac-12 Men's Soccer on Pac-12 Insider. Good night.